Disclaimer: this video is an imagination written by author's perspective. It has nothing to do with real life. It's only for entertainment purpose. I own the storyline and narration. So please don't copy and repost my work. Thank you. Jungkook, stop this drama, mom. Today you proved that you are my stepmom, and stepmom can't take mother's place. Teary eyes. Mrs. Sean heart broke into million pieces after hearing this. She always loved him as her own son and always gave him mother's love. But today Jungkook said this to her. Actually, Jungkook's mom died after giving birth to him, and Mrs. Sean come into his life when he was 2 months old, and he was craving for mother's love. Then she gave him mother's love. She never tried for another child because she always wanted to give her all love to Jungkook, and the reason why she got married to Mr. John was Jungkook. But now his words tear her heart, and she can't control her tears. Mrs. John, so today you called me stepmom. I always loved you as your mother. Mrs. John, you never received mother's love and care, but I take your mother's place and give you everything and fulfill your needs. I always loved you, but today you broke me, son. She is crying so badly because she is so hurt because she really loved him. And his father was also busy in mafia world, so he never get mother's and father's love. But Mrs. Sean loved him as her son. Mrs. Sean was the one who loved him and make him strong. Mrs. Sean was the one who make him ready for this position. She trained him and helped him to take this mafia king position. Jungkook, I know mom how much you loved me, and I know you were always there for me as my support system. But today Jungkook, I know how much you love me, but you should also respect my love. Why you were treating Ryan so bad when she was pregnant? She never told me anything about you. Jungkook, whenever I asked her that about your behavior towards her, then she always lied and said you are so sweet and treat her like her own daughter. She always saved you. Jungkook, mom, I loved you so much, but what you did with Ryan was so wrong. And I'm sorry, but I can never forget that. How can you be so heartless? Why you did that? Teary eyes. Mrs. Sean realized that she did very wrong with you. Because of her insecurities, she did this and became heartless towards you. She also realized that how you were trying to join whole family. She realized that how you always respect her and never give her rude replies and always listen to her. How you do everything what she told you to do because you respect her. But this is so late now. She already did so bad with you. So now how'll she ask forgiveness from you? She know that Jungkook will not forgive her after all this. Mrs. Sean, I'm sorry son. I made very big mistake because I thought she doesn't love you and she only love your money. That's why I did this. But now I realize that I was wrong. Teary eyes. Now Mrs. Sean is feeling guilty and she realized that she was wrong about you. That's why she is sorry for her behavior. Mrs. Sean, please forgive me, son. Jungkook, sorry, but I'm not the one who can forgive you. Ask forgiveness from Vine because she was the one who suffered because of you. You torture her, then only she has right to do whatever she wants. Mrs. Sean, yes, you're right, Jungkook. She suffered because of me, and I'm really sorry for that, she said with teary eyes, and just then a nurse came towards them and said, Nurse, you can meet the patient now, she said, and Mrs. Sean and Jungkook nodded. and went towards your room to meet you. But Mrs. Sean's heart is beating so fast. They both entered inside the room and saw you on the hospital bed, and so many wires are attached to your body, which broke their heart. Mrs. Sean is feeling more guilty now. They both come towards you and sit beside you. And when you saw Mrs. Sean there, then you started feeling angry because now you hate her. Now you can't tolerate her anymore. Mrs. Sean tried to hold your hand, but you back off. Ryan, please leave me alone and stop this drama that you really care for me, you said with teary eyes. Mrs. Sean, I know, Ryan, that I'm so bad, and I accept that I did very wrong with you, but please try to forgive me. I was just selfish for my son, and I thought you were not the right girl for him. Mrs. Sean, but now I realize that I was totally wrong, and you both are perfect. I'm sorry, Ryan. Please forgive me for this, she said while crying. Ryan, you know what? I was the most dumb person because I was trying to win your heart with love and care, but you didn't saw my efforts and always disrespect me. Teary eyes. Ryan, I also know how to fight back for yourself. I also know that how to answer back, but I never did that because I thought I can only join this family and house with love and care. Ryan, I always tried to win your heart and trust, but you always disrespect me and my family. You always questioned my upbringing. You torture me, but I was bearing all that for this family. After hearing this, Jungkook's love and respect for you increased more because you were trying to spread love in this family, but still he is angry on you because you didn't take your stand. After hearing you, Mrs. Sean heart broke because you really loved her and her family. You never say no to her. You always did whatever she told you to do because you wants to win her heart. Mrs. Sean, I can only say one thing, Ryan, that please forgive me and I'm ready for any punishment. You can punish me, but please forgive me, she said while joining her hands. Ryan, now I'm joining hands in front of you. Please leave from here. I don't want to forgive a person like you who did all this with me and my unborn child. Teary eyes. Ryan, just because of you, I almost lost my baby. How can I forgive you? You asked her, and now she don't have anything to say. Jungkook, Ryan, I know that mom did very wrong with you, and you can't forgive her. And I'm with you in your every decision, but you were also wrong here. Jungkook, why didn't you fight back for yourself and for our baby? Why you tolerate her torture and never told me about this? Why you were suffering silently, Ryan? Teary eyes. Jungkook, why you are so weak, Ryan? He asked angrily, and you also agreed that you were the one who gave her courage to do this with you. Ryan, but now I'm not that weak, Ryan. Now I know what to do. I'll not live with her anymore. You and me will live together in another house without her. To be continued. Thanks for watching.